Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and today I am on the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. So let's jump right into the card project. So I was really lucky to get to work with the Spellbinders Thank You Blooms BetterPress plate, and it comes with like 7 plates, I believe, and then in this sheet that tells you how to lay out everything so that you can get all these beautiful layers. Super simple. You're going to see this card come together. It was quick and easy to make, and I think it would be something you could easily mass produce if that's something you like to do with your cards. And then you could change up the colors too. Like, it's so easy, and I'm going to show you why it's so easy as we go through this. So this is the Spellbinders BetterPress, and it comes with black ink out of the box and some cardstock. So this is a piece of the porcelain cardstock that comes with the BetterPress, and it is A2 sized to start out with. So I'm just going to adhere that down to the top plate here. And I am using the Spellbinders low tack yellow tape that also comes in the box. The only thing that I used that wasn't in the box is obviously the press plates themselves and the different colors of ink. But you could do this design with just the black ink and then watercolor it, because these are watercolor safe inks. So that's pretty cool. So here I realized that I actually had adhered the sheet down backwards, and that's okay. That's just a learning thing for me. I'd never used this system before, and I didn't want to watch any videos to try to figure out. I wanted to see how simple it was straight out of the packaging. So that's what we're going to do. But I did notice that after I turned this the right direction, it does actually say BetterPress in the bottom corner there. So now you know that I have it the right direction. So I laid out the thank you, because that is the first portion you could I guess it doesn't actually matter which one you stamp first because they all line up, but I did start with the word thank you, and I did use the black ink specifically for that. I did find that if I pressed really hard with my ink, I'm trying to be light-handed, but I tend to be a little more heavy-handed. That's just kind of me. That I did shift the plate just a touch, but it was really easy to line it back up and just make sure that it was in those lines on that acetate sheet with everything laid out. Now, I personally have a big shot, so that is what I'm going to use my BetterPress with. But if you have the platinum or other die cutting machines, make sure that they work. I think Spellbinders has a whole breakdown of what machines will work with this. And of course, you can always give it a try. But I personally use the big shot. So I ran it through with the black ink as the thank you. And here you can see the only thing that I wish video picked up better was how this presses into that 100% cotton paper, because that is the paper that comes with the BetterPress. It's 100% cotton. It comes in 3 shades as well, but this is the white shade that I'm using, and it's stunning in person. Like, the video doesn't do this card justice, because the press of that cotton cardstock is just beautiful in person. So keep that in mind if you like this kind of card style. Like, it's even more beautiful in person than it is here in the video. And I think it turned out pretty beautiful on the video as well. So I'm going to run every layer through. You're going to see that happen. And I did choose a couple of inks. These are separate from the machine itself or the tool itself, but they're coming out with some beautiful inks. I think that there are 2 new sets of inks that just came out. Sadly, I don't own them yet, but I will add them to my collection because I'm just loving this. It's just so much fun to create these pressed card fronts. Like, they're just stunning. So for the colors that I just used, so the color I just used, that bright pink, that was Wildberry. And then for these smaller flowers, I'm going to bring in Azalea, and it's kind of a more corally color. And then for the leaves, I do bring in Leaf, which is the name of the green color that I'm going to use. And that's all that there is to this card, really. You kind of just keep running it through with each layer, and you could mass produce this if you wanted to. I do think that doing one card at a time would probably be, like, one card front would probably be the best way to go, just because you'd have to realign your paper every time. But I think that this would be a really quick card to mass produce if that's something you really wanted to do. And I'm sure that Spellbinders is going to come out with a lot of these plates now that they've kind of got this technology down. I think that we're going to see a lot of really cool plates, especially like Christmas ones and birthday ones and whatnot. So I'm excited to see what they bring out, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. So I am going to bring in Leaf here to just do the leaves. And as you can see, this whole card front comes together in 4 layers, and it's so easy to do because you already have everything adhered down. So all you're really doing is changing out the plates and running it through your whatever die cutting machine you choose to use. In my case, as I said, it is the Big Shot. So I had a lot of fun with this card coming together, and I think it's just so stunning. Now, you did see me run the black text through back and forth through my machine. You don't need to do that. I did that just because I wanted the black to be very bold. So I kind of ran it through back and forth just to make sure that I got a good impression and bold color. But you don't need to do that, as you see with all the florals, because I didn't do it at that time. So totally up to you as to how you run it through. And then if you've been with me for a minute, you'll know that I love to layer my cards. I love that look of just a thin border all the way around. I like how that looks. And this kind of lets me bring in just a little bit more black to the design that helps that sentiment stand up. So that is what I did. So I like to cut my layers down. So I have an A2 card base, which is 4¼ by 5½. And then my black mat is cut down to about 1/8 of an inch smaller than my base. And then the panel, I'm cutting it down to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base. I tend to eyeball things, so those are the closest measurements I can give you, and hopefully that kind of makes sense. But you'll see here I just have this beautiful thin layer all the way around my border. So that's just my preference. Completely up to you. You don't need to add a black mat. It's just I like how it looks, so I do tend that way. And then I did trim each side, and I didn't trim my cardstock before. Normally I cut my cardstock down when I first start a card, but in this case I wanted it to be able to be adhered properly to the BetterPress, and they have the lines for the A2 sized card. So it just made sense to keep it that way until I was done, so that I could make sure that I knew kind of what I wanted to trim off at the end and could keep my stamping, or I guess pressing, in the center of the card. And I love it. The card is like done at this point. That's how quick this came together. Like this card, a 7.5 or almost 8-minute video for me is pretty short, but that just shows you how quickly these cards come together and how stunning they are in such a simple way. And of course, I can't resist adding bling to cards. I love adding bling. That's one of my favorite things. So I did bring in a couple of Pinkfresh Glacier jewels here, and I just adhered them across the panel because I thought that just finished the card off in a really beautiful way. Now I am going to hold it up so you guys can check it out in all of its glory, but honestly, you can't quite see the press that it gives. I'm trying to kind of catch that, but this is even more stunning in person. I just love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video from me. I hope you'll give the BetterPress a try if that's something you're interested in, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if that's something you enjoy. There's a lot of amazing creators on this team, and I'd like for you to enjoy their content. So thank you so much, guys. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.